All right, ladies and gents, there's a lot of speculative stuff floating out there right now about Carson Wentz. I'm not a huge speculation guy. I mean, we all partake in it from time to time. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I float above everybody else when it comes to that. I'm as guilty as other people. But I do watch the bigger things because a lot of that stuff makes for entertaining TV, whether it's completely off base or not. So I always take what they say with a little bit of a grain of salt here. Over the past couple of weeks, guys, we have heard numerous reports come out saying that Carson Wentz wants out of Philadelphia. Carson Wentz will not be a backup. Carson Wentz will help the Eagles facilitate a trade if it's necessary. And then yesterday, all of a sudden, we saw another report break out that says, no, Carson Wentz would like to actually work things out with the Eagles. I'm going to say best case scenario for Carson Wentz is to work things out with the Eagles because of the money. Like, this kid's set to make a very good salary. And that's what I want to talk about today, guys. I'm going to use two separate sources to talk about Carson Wentz's contract, the prospects of trades, cuts, him staying in Philadelphia, what the impact is, guys. I'm not making judgments of what's going to happen. I'm just laying out the information. I'll let you guys decide how you feel about that. Make your own decision. I'm just going to put forth the information for you today, okay? So without further delay, y'all, let's get into today's topic. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is you get around to watching this. Once again, guys, my name is Steven Hyder, and this is Gate City Sports Channel. All right, guys, today's topic is all about Carson Wentz's contract and the prospects of trading him, cutting him, retaining him, what those numbers do. So to begin with, I can't use my green screen, guys, because I'm bringing this to you on vacation. So this is clearly a hotel room behind me, guys. So, like, I'm going to try to find a way of working in the edits to have the contract information, but it may not be as clean as some of my other videos are when it comes to, like, displaying the information. I'll try to make it as visible as possible, but I'm sorry, guys, there's only so much I can do here. The basics of the contract. I got this from spotrac.com, spotrac.com. Just type in Carson Wentz contract, go to Spotrac. They have a pretty good breakdown of it. Here's how it worked out. He signed a 4-year extension worth $128 million in total money, okay? He had a signing bonus of $16,367,683. An average salary of about $32 million when it was all averaged out. Total guarantees of $107,970,683. Sorry, guys, shouldn't put dollars in there twice. But total guarantees of almost $108 million, okay? Guaranteed at the date of the signing was $66,470,683, okay? So we can get into the aspects of whether this is a good contract, bad contract. Dude, there's so many variables to that crap. It's hard to say. Like, I know it's easy to cut, you know, Howie Roseman up and say, like, man, you handed out $108 million in total guarantees to a quarterback that won't be on a roster. And when you phrase it that way, of course, that looks really bad. But let's be real. If you look at the contracts coming out for franchise quarterbacks, let's take a look at what just happened with Mahomes. Let's take a look at, you know, what just happened in Houston, right? Let's take a look at what, you know, Lamar Jackson. Like, this contract's not that bad. What makes it bad is when the guy that you thought was a franchise quarterback may in fact turn out to not be a franchise quarterback for your franchise. I'm not going to make a determination of whether or not this guy will or won't be a franchise quarterback in the future, but there is the distinct possibility that this man will not be the franchise quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. That is a real possibility. Trying to deny that otherwise at this point would just be foolish. Like, I'm not even going to go there. I don't know how that's going to work out in Philadelphia. But I will say that, like, yeah, it's a bad contract if it doesn't work out with Wentz, and Wentz is indeed not the franchise quarterback. Of course this is a bad contract because you gave a guy a friendly franchise quarterback contract that turned out to not be a franchise quarterback. Of course, that's a bad look. But let's be real. If you bet on the right horse and this was your franchise quarterback, then you got him for exceptional rate in value. It's all going to work out in terms of, like, what happens there. I think some of the particulars of the contract are what irritates me about Howie Roseman. And I'll get into that. It's really about the way that he structured the guarantees in the contract. So let me lay this out for you. His 2021 salary worked out like this, guys. It's $15,400,000. His 2021 base salary, okay? Now, his 2021 cap figure is $34,673,536. But we're talking about base salary, okay? He had a 3.9 guaranteed no matter what base salary in 2021. And then he had $11.5 million in escalators. Here's the problem with that. We guaranteed that, you know, back in March 20th of 2020. So March of this past year, we guaranteed that other $11.5 million worth of escalators. It's the little things like that in this contract that like Howie, what were you thinking? Like, it's not the total value of the contract, because if the dude turned out to be a franchise quarterback, guys, this was a very good contract. When you misevaluate, you know, that side of things, then of course it's a bad contract. But, you know, it compounds and it gets worse. You got a $10 million roster bonus that ended up getting guaranteed. You got $15 million of 2022 salary that will be guaranteed on the third league day of 2021. So, like, it's the subtle things like that about the contract that are not in the Eagles' favor, guys. It's just not. Laying out the rest of the years for you guys. So 2021, I already told you guys, against the cap, it's $34,673,536. 2022, it's $31,274,536. So a slight decrease. Only to pick way back up again in 2023, which is $36,273,539. And then going into 2024, which would be a $32 million even against the cap salary. So clearly 2022, with the dip between 2021 and 2022, clearly would have been the ideal out year. That's where the dead money would not have saved the contract. But I will caution, there's nuance to this, okay? So to begin with, general interest stuff, before we get into the nuance of like the trade, the release, all this kind of stuff, guys, let's talk about the incentives that were based in the contract. So let me get into the incentives of this contract. NFL MVP, $5 million. Offensive Player of the Year, $5 million. 3 Pro Bowls or 2 Pro Bowls with a playoff berth, $6 million. A Super Bowl win with 70% of the snaps taken in that game, $5 million. Luckily, these incentives, I'm pretty sure, are not going, well, I'm not going to say they won't be realized. Like, never say never. But up to right now, we haven't had to deal with these, okay? So far, we're safe here. It's very unlikely he's going to hit some of these incentives, okay? I won't say that they're all completely rolled out because we don't even know what's going to happen with this guy's future. But at least from that perspective, there you go. So I want to talk about the impact of the Eagles to the impact of a team acquiring Carson Wentz and how this works out. A team acquiring Carson Wentz is not going to have to worry about the signing bonus. Okay, so let me break down his 2021 contract for you. It's $15,400,000 in base salary. It has a signing bonus of $3,273,536. It has a roster bonus of $10 million, which was already pretty much guaranteed, guys. It has an option bonus of $6 million that all comes together to form the cap number of $34,673,536. A team acquiring Carson Wentz does not have to worry about the signing bonus, the roster bonus, or the option. The Eagles still have to eat that money, no matter what happens. All they have to really worry about is that $15,400,000 that they have to pick up. Okay, that's the area where that acquiring team would have to worry about. I think for some teams this is stomachable. Like, I don't think that this would, preclude someone like San Francisco, Indianapolis, or Denver, or maybe even New England making such an acquisition. If they believe in the talent level of Carson Wentz, I don't think $15 million is going to deter them from that. It's not like they're on the hook for the full $34 million the Eagles would be on the hook for. On that number, I want to talk about over the cap. So this portion of the video, I'm pulling the information from Over the Cap's salary cap estimator. Guys, understand the salary cap is not fluid. It changes. It changes by designations and things, okay? Things that the league office can even do can change it. That's why I try to stamp a time frame of when I'm giving you numbers. Everything that I'm going to tell you today was as of 10:45 a.m. on Wednesday morning, okay? So this is January, I don't know, 6th, I think, something like that. So here we go. His 2021 cap number is $34,673,536. We said that 1,000 times. That number should be in your head by now. His projected dead cap is $59,220,608. That is a protection. So the dead cap protects the contract in the amount of a negative effect for the Eagles of $24,547,072. Okay? So to just outright cut Carson Wentz would cost you $24.5 million. Obviously, we're not going to outright cut Carson Wentz. Without Carson Wentz basically saying, I'll pay you back some of the money, and then recouping it in a signing bonus from another team. I highly doubt that's going to happen. I'm not going to say never. Never say never, because you just don't know. This world's crazy. That seems a very unlikely scenario to me. All right. How can this happen? Well, I can tell you this, guys. If you play with the numbers a little bit, and then you go down to a projected dead money trade, okay? So I'm talking about if I were to trade this young man underneath the June 1st designation, what would that do? Well, you would take that $34,673,536 in your base salary, right? But then the dead money would come down because on June 1st, you can split it out over a couple of years. So that dead money would then come down to only being $9,273,536. That's a positive cash flow this season of being $25,400,000. So you would gain $25.4 million on a June 1st designation trade. These are not easy to do, and I don't even understand all the complex rules around a June 1st trade, to be quite honest, but I can see the numbers by just playing around with over the cap. So I don't know how you do that. I just know that that could happen. There is something I do want to talk about, though. You can outright cut this guy and still, you can outright trade this guy and still save money. So without even a June 1st designation, this isn't saving the Eagles a ton of money. This is, this isn't necessarily about cap savings. What I'm saying here, this is about getting rid of the contract, getting rid of the player, so that way there's not a distraction in the quarterback room. I'm not saying it's the right move. I'm not saying it's the wrong move, guys. I'm just providing the numbers. I'm not making judgment here. The cap number is $34,673,536. Stop me if you heard me say this before. All right, his projected dead money on just an outright trade, it would be $33 million. I believe that's $820,608. That's a positive flow here for the cap of $852,928. So just short of $1 million saved. Okay, obviously this wouldn't be about saving money, and there's way more efficient ways to save money than this. But it could be done in a positive flow here. A June 1st cut, I highly doubt this would happen, guys. I'm just going to break down the numbers for you on a June 1st cut, and I'll explain why I don't think it would happen. Because the June 1st cut would basically line up the cap number of $34,673,536 with the dead money being split up of $34,673,536. So you get a zero effect. And you just wasted one of your two early June 1st designations. To me, the only way the Eagles would probably likely June 1st cut someone like Carson Wentz would be if they allow him to come into camp and battle, and then he loses to Jalen Hurts, and they just say, we're not going to have the distraction of having Carson Wentz with Jalen Hurts. We don't want the fan base calling for Carson Wentz every time Jalen Hurts misses a pass. Like, we have to commit to the kid now. Like, to me, that would be the situation in which you would do that, but that would not have an effect on the cap, and you would already have had to clear money for the cap in this situation. This is just getting rid of the hassle of the problem, if that makes sense. So that's the way all this stuff lays out in terms of the scenarios of, if you keep him, what's it going to cost you? Without him restructuring his contract, guys, and I can't predict restructure. I don't know. It's going to cost you $34,673,536 against your cap. That's what it's going to cost you to keep him. Okay? It's $15.4 million in base salary. It's $3.273 million in, you know, signing bonus. It's a $10 million roster bonus and a $6 million option. That's what it costs to keep him. If you outright cut him, it's going to cost you an additional $24 million over that, $24.5 million over that. If you outright trade him, you could get you a savings of about $800,000. If you June 1st trade him, yeah, you get a lot of money back. You get $25.4 million back if you can make that work somehow. If you June 1st cut him, you get a zero effect. There's a zero effect there. Of course, the Eagles would like to trade him, whether it's before June 1st, after June 1st. The trade does you more. You get compensation back in return, no matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a 7th round pick. Should you be trading Carson Wentz for a 7th round pick? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying compensation and the money savings is better than nothing, and even a negative effect. Like, that's the salary cap situation when it comes to Carson Wentz. I will let you guys make your own judgments here. I'm not going to make any kind of judgment here. I don't know what to believe out there right now with the things that are circulating. I think anything could be possible. I think all these rumors could be complete and absolute bullcrap that's being, it's being brought up by the agent because the agent wants to judge interest in his client. It would seem to me as if Carson Wentz, it would be in his best interest to figure this thing out with the Eagles, to be quite honest. He's set to make a lot of money. Like, you're not going to make that much money initially. You might eventually get that kind of contract if you just ball out the next year or two and then it comes up for them to redo your contract. I mean, you might then be shown to be a franchise card. You might make more, but the initial effect would be downward for Carson, clearly. That's the situation. This is what the situation is. All right? Leave your comments down below. Let me know how you feel about it, guys. I'm about to get out of here, guys, because it's going on 11 o'clock now. I got to get out of here. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I'll see you on the next video. Oh, yeah, don't forget, if you'd like to support the channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all's time.